Hello, I did my EBPs and my case study on social narratives and social skills training. So, social narratives are describe social situations for people. They're commonly used for students with autism. These narratives can explain certain situations and events and how to act appropriately in these events. They also set up expectations for students. Social narratives can be adapted for any type of learner. And then some that I use in my class include listening the first time, how to act on the bus, and how to act when they're frustrated. Social skills training involves group or individual instruction for students on how to appropriately act in social settings. During these instructions, students learn how to make appropriate eye contact, have a reciprocal conversation, start and end a conversation, make requests, and more. Role playing is typically used, which helps the students engage and be interested in the learning objective. All of these steps help students interact with typically developing peers. So, my student has a difficult time with executive functioning and impulse control. Cognitively, he's low, and then he may be at risk later in life for ID. He's very sweet and caring, though. He loves to help others. He loves to give them hugs all the time, and he's very playful with them, too. He is almost always in a positive mood. But some days, like, he can come off the bus and he'll just be, like, non-compliant. And so we'll have to, like, wait him out for that. He has been shown to be physical sometimes, but that's gone a lot better. And then he is very go with the flow. He has difficulty staying in his seat, though, and then he benefits from frequent movement breaks because of that. He has a hard time sharing also, specifically requesting the materials from the peers. That's my dog. His IEP goal is when he is engaged in free play time, student will appropriately request toys or other materials from peers by tapping them on their shoulder, asking, "Can I use that please?" with 80% accuracy in 4 to 5 trials, as measured by my data and observation. His baseline, so I assessed the baseline by taking data on how many times he appropriately requested toys and materials from students and how many times he took materials from students without asking. So for his baseline, he requested appropriately 0 times, and then he took without asking 3 times. So I taught the goal by setting up weekly small group social skills training groups on requesting and sharing. So I just did that in my classroom. I read a social narrative about requesting appropriately at least 3 times a week. I also sent home the social story and then asked his mom and dad to read it to him every day. I incorporate second step curriculum into my classroom, and we do activities that are on that. And then I also have a psychologist, one of the psychologists that is part of our preschool team, come in, and she does social skills training once a month. And then a lot of the students, except just one of them, doesn't have speech, but all the others have speech, and they work on pragmatics, and then they also work on generalizing that. So this is one of the social stories that I have in my classroom that I use. These are some visuals. So it says, "My turn, your turn." So my lesson plan, the goal is that students should be able to request materials from each other appropriately and share materials when peers request from them. So the materials, just toys, I said highly preferred because that seems to work a little better for me at least because they learn to generalize that better. And then the lesson at large group, when students are sitting in the carpet, call 2 of the students up at a time. One of the students has the toy, and then the peer has to tap them on the shoulder and ask, "Can I use that, please?" The student either has to say yes or not right now. That's how we do in my classroom. If the student does say yes, the peer, says thank you. And then if the answer is not right now, the peer has to accept that answer and then play with a different toy. They can also ask for us to put a timer on, so we have a 3-minute timer that we use for sharing back and forth. Highly preferred toys. That is my data collection sheet that I used. I just had tally marks for it. So this is my graph. So the red is the number of times that he requested appropriately. So you can see that it starts really low and then it gets higher by the end. And then the blue one is the number of times he took without asking. So we see that get down, which is good. So my plan, if he does not meet his benchmark, I will increase the training to twice a week and then read his social stories every single day. I will incorporate video modeling also, and then we'll practice the modeling throughout the day and in our social skills training. We will role play, requesting and sharing during large group activities, and then I will set up more opportunities for him to request, like at snack time, outside play, and then like withholding items until he can ask for them appropriately. And then those are my references. Thanks.